Hey folks, it's Keith Beardsley with the Beardsley Real Estate Team and Century 21. Here today with another home sales report for the Osgoode-Greeley communities. Two very nice communities on that southern edge of Ottawa and generally speaking within easy commuting distance into the city. So what are we looking at right now? So we'll give you a quick overview of the market. The market is moving, but it is moving as it would have moved around 2019, 2020. In other words, before the pandemic. Pandemic distorted everything, so our market has returned to normal. What does this mean for you? Well, if you're a buyer, there are definitely more homes out there, more homes in your price ranges, and you can shop around a little bit, and that's exactly what the buyers are doing. They're taking their time. They're basically comparing what does this house offer versus this house for the same price. So it's a never-ending story. For the sellers, you ought to have a bit more patience because the buyers are no longer running in and snapping up a house because, oh my goodness, there aren't any other ones out there. So sellers have to be very realistic. You have to be very tough on your pricing. And you have to be realistic that it's not going to sell within 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. But good homes always sell. Buyers always buy. It's just a matter of getting the two together. Now, before we get into some of the numbers, I just want to remind everybody I do a free market evaluation. It's no phony baloney, no gimmicks, no nonsense. I just give you the facts. At that point, you can make up your mind what you want to do. And, there's never any pressure, never any arm twisting. I've been doing this over 21 years. Never needed it. It's not necessary. It's not a good way to do business. So, like I said, 21 years experience. On top of that, I'm also a certified seller specialist, an SRS. I'm also a certified seniors real estate specialist, an SRES. Things that can definitely help you if you're trying to sell your home. Now, one of the issues we do have to consider going forward, and at this point it's too early to decide what type of impact it's going to have on the market, as the government brings people back into the city to work, and as other companies are starting to do that too. What impact will that have on these rural and semi-rural communities? It's hard to say, but certainly commuting time into the offices is an issue that was always considered, before the pandemic. Once the pandemic hit, people thought they could work from home forever. And I've had people moving all the way out to Morrisburg and areas like that, thinking they would never have to drive into the city again. So there will be an impact. Probably we won't see it this year, but certainly next year. Now, for these two communities, what are we looking at? How are they doing? Well, let's start with Osgoode. So Osgoode right now has 31 sales this year compared to 27 same time last year. Not doing too bad, a little bit better than last year, although really 3 or 4 sales is not that much of a difference when you get down to it. Average price in Osgoode, $716 to $97, so doing fairly well in the average price. Months of inventory, which is the number that we need to decide, is it a buyer's market, seller's market, and so on. So in Osgoode, it's 2.3 months, which means Osgoode still is managing to stay in that seller's market. Not a lot of homes for sale in the Osgoode area. Now, if we move over to Greeley, which is another very nice community, and Greeley has its own set of challenges right now. So the sales in Greeley this year, 92 versus 86. So the numbers are pretty good. Total sales are pretty good. Average price, and this is where statistics become fun. The average price is $991,861. So this marks several months in a row that Greeley has drifted below that $1 million mark, which was a point they were at for many, many, many months. Now, part of the explanation, and actually a very big part of the explanation, is what has been selling in Greeley. Well, if you look at the sales side of that 92 sales so far, 20 of those were under 600,000, and 9 of those were under 400,000. So what you're looking at is some of the modular units selling, which are, there's a couple of I think 3 parks in Greeley that would have them. So they've been selling. So of course that pulls down the average price. So if you're sitting in Greeley in $1 million home and you're worried about what's happening because the average price is only $991 now, don't. It just happens to be that Greeley is made up of some very expensive homes, some medium price homes, and some lower price homes. That's the lower price homes that have been selling. So Greeley, the months of inventory, what type of market is it in Greeley? Well, 4.1 months, because there's a fair number of houses for sale right now. And that puts them in a balanced market. In other words, the sellers are going to do okay. The buyers are going to do okay. And again, you look at the price range in Greeley, there's a lot of expensive homes. They do take a little bit longer to sell, especially when we look at all the high interest rates and so on. So if there's anything I can do to help you out, any questions you'd like answered, you can call me or text me, 613-552-0851. You can also go into our website, www.beardsleyteam.ca. Check us out, see who we are, see how we do business. You can also check out our 5-star Google reviews. There's plenty of those in there as well, and see how we work with people. It's Keith, wishing you a great day.